Hey, Black Barn Social Club, God bless America, talking boots. When I say I've been waiting on these boots for a minute, I don't just mean waiting on UPS to deliver them or the post office, whoever it was. What I mean is Truman has been teasing these boots for a little while now, and as I've been seeing some of these boots come on eBay, and I've been seeing some of these boots that I felt like I just had to have, and I've been weighing out what would I sell and what would I this and that, and having too many boots in my rotation. I've been dreading the moment that these actually dropped because they were just such a stunning, just the advertisement alone, the photos and whatnot, it was just such a stunning color. So I knew deep down that when these showed up, when these finally hit the website, that I was going to go ahead and pull the trigger. And I did, jumped on them, and here they are. The Truman Tobacco Snakebite. This is a 79 lasted boot, plain toe, and I think I'm really a fan. We have beat to death the discussion about which last is a good last and which last works for your feet and the shape of it. Now you guys know it by this point, if you're watching this, you've got at least a little bit of knowledge about what a last is and the nuances of at least Truman's last. But the 79 last, if you go to his website, two-dimensionally, it's a little bit wider heel, a little bit wider in the waist, and we'll call it again just a moderately sized toe box. So long as I would say this is a good boot for high volume feet. And I don't mean high width feet. I don't mean that you've got, just a wide toe box and you need a tighter clamp on the heel. I mean, let me give you an example. I used to be considerably heavier, and I've already got a high instep in my foot. So to me, the wider profile, the wider two-dimensional profile of the 79 last works. It gives me more volume. It gives me the ability to clamp down and lace tighter around a wider foot that is kind of all the way back. Now, could it fit a little tighter in the heel? Sure it could. But at the end of the day, this is a good boot, and this boot fits me. I would say this boot is a 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10 as far as how it fits me. Not discussing how it fits anybody else. Quite frankly, it doesn't matter how it fits anybody else. It matters how it fits me, and that's where we go with this. That's why some people love the Munson last, and some people love the Floyd last, and some people love the 56 last, and some people love the True Balance. I mean, we've beat that to death. Everybody's going to have a thing for them. But this boot, did I need another one? No, I didn't. Do I have space in my rotation? No, I don't. So why did I get it? Why did I jump all over it? It's because Truman and some of these boot makers out there now are starting to catch on to what's so addictive about this. They're just doing a few things so well, and they're changing up the color, they're changing up the variety, they're changing up the texture of the boots. Like you take the Ramblers, for example. It's the same boot, it's the same last, it's the same cap toe, it's the same, it's all the same stuff that we've been snatching up, but it adds that texture of that Rambler look, and it adds that rugged feel. Now, you take an Oxblood. Why is an Oxblood different than this? Because it's a more refined color. It's that buttery soft. It's that attractiveness. Why is a why is this in a 56 last better than that? Well, because then that adds a dressy approach to it. So when I see this tobacco snakebite, what I see is a leather couch. It's a mixture between a bomber jacket and a leather couch that's been sat on for 30 years. It's got the highs in the tightly drawn areas. It's got the highlights. It's got that rich brown, and it's got a pull up that is insane. Look at that pull up. I mean, just insane. So it's so thick with oils and waxes that it's just going to get better with age. Now, it's a Seidel tannery cut of leather. I mean, the Goodyear welting, 270 degree Goodyear welt. This is one of those where they matched the midsole and everything just right. They're calling the stitching tan, and I would argue with that. I mean, I guess it is. Maybe it's tan. Maybe it's a really light tan. I mean, with my eyes, it almost looks to be not quite a white, but I mean, it's a real pale stitching, which again looks good. Antique brass hardware, 5 eyes, 2 speed hooks. We've talked about that to death. There's nothing more. I mean, I'm running out of Truman boot videos. And for one, I'm running out of space to put Truman boots. I've really gone deep on Truman. The bench is deep with Truman boots. And I am serious when I say that some of them are going to have to go just because I'm gonna gravitate to a few more than others. Now, I think I'm in my mind. I think I'm narrowing down to probably 5 that I'll keep. And I'll be honest, this one hit the top 5 almost instantly, just based on the color, based on what I'm seeing here. And I'm going to say, I mean, again, just because I know I can't go much. I mean, I can't talk very long on yet another video talking about stitching and spacing and quality and stuff like that, because everybody here knows they're going to get a quality boot. Everybody here knows they're going to get, so long as you buy them new and no blims or no seconds, you're going to get something that is reasonably well packaged and put to you in good shape. I think I've talked about it before. I almost like doing the first review after I've worn them a little bit, just so that I have already put some of those scratches and nicks and things on it, so that I can't be mad about anything. But in this case, I really was excited about getting them. So you can tell I haven't even laced them up. Now, it will be leather laces, so we don't even need to discuss that. So I'm trying to figure out how can I stretch this to my typical 20 minutes when in all honesty, a Truman boot is starting to become second. I'm not ever going to say it's old news, but does it make sense to say that I'm so used to seeing just a hell of a boot? I'm so used to seeing great craftsmanship. I'm so used to seeing thick leathers. I'm so used to being hit with the leather smell, not overwhelmed with the chemical smell, not overwhelmed with the plasticky feel of a boot. I'm so used to just good quality stuff. Is it weird to say that it's almost hard to impress me now? How do you raise the bar on a Truman boot? What do you do different to raise the bar? Their Commando sole. It's already one of my favorite soles. I talk about that pretty often. I love how they've found a way to make a boot that walks into an office with swagger. It's kind of one of those deals. Like I said, I'm kind of running out of things to brag on, and And that's one thing about Truman. Truman won't even repost. From what I can tell, they're not big on reposting their people that follow them or people they're putting their content out. So you don't even get the benefit, or should I say, the excitement about their boot isn't driven off of anything other than just genuine appreciation for the boot, because it's not like you're getting you're not getting anything from them by doing this. Now, I know they've got that Truman loyalty program that where you do, the more you buy with their boots, the more you buy from them, the more of a discount you get, and that does help. That goes a long way, but it's even not, that won't be as big as some of the sales that some others run. I've seen Oak Street Boots is a big one. Grant Stone, some of those will just run sales that will rival the discount program you'd get from a Truman boot. But again, the folks that are buying these boots are just buying something that they feel like they're getting a value for. So again, I'm just going to stop speaking on what this is and how good it looks. You guys can see that. I don't have any improvements for a Truman boot. In this case, they've got a dark matching insole. I don't have anything but good to say. Now, so I'm gonna shift in gears a little bit and speak to why I'm really liking these. So I've got that plain toe natural cypress, and I got, obviously this is a plain toe. I think Truman did a poll the other day. I don't know who runs his website or his Instagram, but he did a poll, asking should he make more cap toes or plain toes. And if I'm being honest, I think I like the plain toes. I like them for a couple reasons. Even though it's not, even though their cap toe isn't a true double layer, and I give Iron Rangers a hard time because that adds to their clown. Some of that, the rounded bulbous toe of the Iron Ranger. I mean, again, it's a true double layer of leather, but it just adds to the volume of that, the size of that toe. These boots, they're plain toes. They still keep us, they keep a sleek appearance, and I think I like that. I'd heard Ryan from Ushu mention sometimes these boots, the 79 last, they fit a little sloppy in the waist of the boot, which we'll call the waist, from here to here. And so I think I heard him mention that in one of his reviews. And I'm going to be honest, I'd never really thought about it before, but I started studying it once I heard him mention it, and he is right, and I think he's spot on as to why. There's a lot of leather, this gusseted tongue that comes all the way back to the eyelets, so it's got kind of a long gusseted tongue, and that's a lot of leather to double over on a foot. Now, here's why I don't notice it as much, and here's why I might think that the people that may say that probably do need the 56 last, because that is a thinner waist and a thinner heel. So what I'm getting at is if you've got a narrow body of your foot, low volume foot, and then you've got that leather that is folded in that spot and it's all crammed into that opening, it may look a little sloppy or a little loose or a little lumpy. I've talked about my high instep. I've talked about, just the volume of my foot, just because I'm a bigger guy. I think that I don't notice it as much. I think, yes, you can still feel that leather in there because you're cramming some thick stuff. And I'd rather do that than them cheap out and go thin with a tongue. But I think it's less noticeable just because quite frankly, I fill up the boot. So I don't notice that as bad, but I think that's more one of those things that stylistically you kind of have to go with your body type, your shape. You have to go with all that in mind. Such a good looking boot. This again, the pull up is insane. What I like about this Snakebite is when you're first looking at it, in these areas where it's quite a bit darker, you can't see any of the striations or the veins or anything like that. But once you put it under that pull up, it's like they pop out. All of a sudden you see the lightning bolts and the things run out from it, and then they stay there. Again, the color comes back, but the striations and the texture stays. So this is going to be a patina monster. There's no doubt. I'm trying to think in terms, and when we talk about style and how many Truman boots can you have. I don't know right now if I've got anything that I'm waiting on. And my wife would say that's a good thing. But where do you go next when you're starting to get pretty satisfied? When you're starting to have, when you've got Parkhurst and you've got some, Red Wings to work, and you've got some mock toes, and you've got 4 or 5 good pair of just change up after change up after change up. So you're not really going to get tired of any one particular boot. Where do you go next? I'd be curious to know what some of you guys are waiting for. I used to think that I would, I'll tell you what I would do. I would probably let go of some of my 79 last, because I'm thinking about for the 79 last with the natural cypress, with the stone rambler. I've got the 2 or 3 now, olive waxed flesh, the Java waxed flesh. I've got the one with the Eugene regrind that I'm trying to, that I've got dropped off at the cobbler now. So I've got enough of the 79s that I could let a few of those go, and I would trade that for a 20 last if something came along. If the right pair, if the right color, maybe that honey colored, sesame / natural cypress, / what's the one, the British tan. If something like that came along in a mock toe, a 20 last boot, I'd probably jump all over that and let something go, because I am starting to find that the 79s work better with certain clothes. Somebody had asked me, if a good segment to add would be to start talking about what styles well with these. And so I won't show you today, because I'm wearing the lace to toe boots on the Crush On Retro. I'm wearing those today, but for that gentleman, and your name, the channel name slips me, but just pay attention to some of the walkout music videos that I do. So if you guys aren't paying attention to Instagram, if you're just watching here, I'll add a walkout music video where I'm wearing this stuff. But on these 79s, always jeans. Jeans always go well. I think where I start to struggle with the 79 in terms of style is when I have a slimmer fit khaki. I don't think I like the combination of a slimmer fit. I'm okay with slim fit jeans or some of the, I'm okay with those, but something about slim fit khakis, and I'm really talking about slim fit stuff. But when you put those with a boot that looks this, it still has a rugged appearance. Because of the thickness of the boot. Again, the Commando sole is not so much of a factor there. If it were a heavy lug sole like the Uplands have, then I can see even that being a takeaway. But if you're going casual, if you're going into an office with a really proper preppy khaki, then I almost think you need a dressier boot. I almost think you need a Parkhurst or the 56 last. I think this is the more I'm around the 79, it's a rugged boot. And that's why I've always, from day one, I've always compared especially the cap toe 79 to my Iron Rangers. To me, it's too much trying to be the same boot, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean it's filling that rugged role. Now, what I like about Truman's more than the Iron Rangers is I love every sole that they've used. I love their Eugene grinds, the Eugene regrind. I love their Eugene soles. I love their Commando soles. I have yet to get their Truman heavy lug sole, but again, that's one that's going to happen at some point. Gabe has got one, EDH Boulevard. He's got a honey lug sole that one of these days I'm going to strong arm him out of those. But so I love a honey lug sole. So and I've thought about that. If that Eugene regrind if the squeak doesn't stop, I will. And I'm sorry to be pointing at you guys, because I mean that could be aggressive in a lot of places. So apologies for knife hand. If I may get the cobbler, if he can't stop that squeak, to put a honey lug V100, a honey, what do they call it? A honey sole. You get the idea. It's that gum rubber sole V100, the Vibram. I just want to sit here and talk all night about this boot. This is a good looking boot. I can't wait to put it on. So this will be in tomorrow's pictures. This will be in tomorrow's fit check. I'll show you guys what it looks like. I will be wearing some, I don't know, I have to figure out what I'm going to wear with it tomorrow, because I just got done talking about the rugged nature of it. But one last time, I'll show you the pull up on this. I mean, you guys, like I said, there's nothing much to say about it. It's Truman quality. It's a heavy boot. It's 6-ounce leather. It's American P&W made. Eugene, Oregon. I mean, you're holding something that will last. And like I said, Truman's got us dialed in. He understands what his fan base wants. He understands what we're after. We like him changing up the leathers the way they do, and we keep coming back for more. So you guys be blessed. I'm going to lace these things up, and we will talk soon. You guys. That's all I got. Be blessed.